Hello, please stand by for the live stream to get started. Alright, welcome. Today's video is going to be about the Free Code Camp Responsive Web Design Certification Project 3. So this is a technical documentation page. The objective is to build an app that is functionally similar to this. So it seems like we have different hash marks that bring us to these different portions of the document that we can click through. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the basic HTML template. And only keep this stuff where we know what it does and we want to keep it. So I don't want an icon. I don't want any JavaScript. I want a styles.css link. I want to call this tech docs. I don't want that for now, and I'll keep the mobile viewing, the character set, the language is English. Looks good, and this is going to be, call it tech docs site. Anyway, gonna have a class, section, main section. There should be a minimum of 5. The first element within each main section should be a header element which contains text that describes the topic of that section. Just make this Java section. Each section should have an ID that corresponds to the text of each header. So we'll call this ID Java section. The main section should contain at least 10 P elements total, not each. The main section elements should contain at least 5 code elements in total, not each. Should contain at least 5 list item. Alright, so let's say for Java we'll do Java has some cool features. These are my top 3. So we're going to make a ordered list. With some list items. Inheritance. How do you even spell inheritance? abstraction, and whatever. Let's just say OOP, object-oriented programming. My favorite loop in Java is the while loop. And then we'll make while code. Let's make that stand out a little bit. There we go, blue is fine. I made my first linked list in Java. Let's make headers stand out a little bit too. Could have these be H2 as well. Maybe that would be good to show the structure of the page a little bit. And that'll give some default styling that's nice. Let's make a Python section. Giving credit for that code and making a link. Now I'm going to try making an unordered list. Just bullet points. Monads. Starting to come together. Let's add target blank to these links. So they open in new tabs when people would click them. Five list elements, nav element with the corresponding nav bar. Should that be in the main? I'm not sure. I think a nav should have nav links in it as well. Guess not, just normal anchor tags. Just for reference, let's see if they put it inside of main. Oh, they used an article. That's smart. Yeah, so it looks like it's outside. I think we want these to go, the href to be the hash. So hash, and then I think you can just put the ID of the section, like Java section. I like these separators too. So these ones are working. Maybe. Python section. Haskell section. I'm not sure that it's working. So now we have 5 sections. Not so sure about these links at the moment. Each element in the nav bar ID is nav bar the header element in the nav bar must come before any link in the nav bar. So I'm going to move this H1 to the header of the nav bar. That's better. Must become before any links. Each element with the nav link should contain text that corresponds to the header within each section. So those seem to be matching. When you click on a navbar element, it should navigate. If you click on a nav link that contains hello world, it navigates to that section with that ID and contains the corresponding header. Seems right. On regular sized devices, the nav bar should be shown on the left side of the screen and always visible to the user. So I'm going to ask, using simple CSS, how can we do this, but then on mobile stack it? There's a lot of CSS. Position fixed, full height, custom width. Okay, this sort of makes sense. I'm going to take the parts of this that make sense to me. Yeah, this still seems pretty complicated, even using a CSS grid. Let's take this one step at a time. So we have the nav bar and then the main. Maybe we want these to be left to right. So maybe if we make nav and main inline block display. No. Guess I didn't really know what that meant. So they were using position fixed here. Issue maybe is with the main below it. Let me say the width of this is 300 pixels, and then the padding left of the main is also 300 pixels, or margin left. That works okay. It's not great. It's not super responsive. Maybe we can make body, display, flex. Not doing what I wanted. We're supposed to use one media query. So we're going to say up to 300 pixels to make the main margin Okay, so now we have margin. That seems pretty much like what we want. So we did a margin left of 0 when the screen is less than or equal to 300 pixels, and we put the position back to relative. I wonder if auto would have worked. No, auto didn't work. Each main section should have an ID that matches the text of its first child. Having any spaces in the child's text replaced with underscores for the IDs. Well, that's pretty picky. C, C++, Haskell, Python, and Java. At least 5 code elements. C uses the malloc function. Say C++ has a namespace keyword. Our navlinks elements should have that class. And we don't need that dot because the dot is just the CSS selector for class. Oh, is that it? Yep. Looks like we're all done with that one. So that took about 35 minutes. So thank you for watching.